People, how you doing? Me, Brad. I did say I'd give you an update on the Be Kind or Don't campaign. Yeah, and you may or may not be aware of it. On what day is it? Crikey, it was on Sunday. I did a 15-minute real fight back, right, for this whole situation. You might even be blissfully aware of this whole thing, and that's the kind of insidious way of this. So let me explain. So for those people that don't know me, I'm Brad. I'm an author, written 4 books. I head up the organization, business networking organization, Network Central, primarily originally for networking, started in 2006. I built my business up from nothing, started from nothing, literally no investment. I'm just like plugged away. And we ended up running 5,000 business meetings across the UK till, of course, COVID. And then we went down to nothing. That was itself was problematic and a pressure. Well, it's funny because we're like a political party. Ever since I've started this thing off, if you think about you and your business, if you're a printer and you have a problem with someone has a problem with your printing, the only people that kind of know about it is you and the printer. In my world, with what we've got with the network, thousands of people kind of have an understanding of the network. Now they don't have all the understanding, but they've got a view. They're almost like it's like a political party in some respect. And over the years, I'm from the mean streets of Manchester, Salford. Let me be quite clear there. So, I'm not adverse in my youth to trouble coming my way. I think that's a fair assessment. However, I'm 48 years old now. I am a middle-aged man. I changed as an individual many, many years ago. I decided that I would smile more. I decided that I'd be a more positive individual. And there's kind of a battle going on with all of us between the kind of old, destructive version of ourselves and a more positive, benign, new version of ourselves. And that's the guy that I am. Now, with for networking and networking organizations, people leave. They're absolutely entitled to leave. On occasion, people get removed from the network. And I'll give you an example of why some people may get removed from the network. If somebody has debts and they're not servicing them or speaking to other phone networkers, or we hear repeated complaints about an individual, they'll get removed. If someone has been arrested on serious offences twice, I might take it upon myself to remove them from the network. Now, when they come out of the network, I don't tell anyone about that, why they've been removed. I don't do that. They just I speak to them and say, hey, you're now longer out of the network. They then take it upon themselves when people say, hey, why aren't you in the network? Well, Brad Burton, the guy from Salford, Manchester, well, he's a bully. That's why I left. He's homophobic. That's why I left. He's a racist. That's why I left. And the list really goes. Misogynist is another thing, a misogynist. Now, I'm not going to go and wheel out my friends of different ethnicities. I'm not going to do that. Nor am I going to tell you as regards the fact that my entire senior team is based on women. They're women. So all this stuff is smokescreens for what really is going on here. And what really is going on here is bullying. That is the reality of it. It is bullying. Now, I've just posted on my Brad Burton timeline 2 things. One was a blog that I wrote, and it's pending. You can see that it was associated from a year ago, whenever it was, August or June, I don't even remember. But it's a picture of me in bed where I had a burnout and I was frazzled, and everything about it is in there, and it just talks about it. My mental health had gone a year ago. I was in bed and it took me 2 weeks to get fixed. And I didn't know if it was a permanent fixture. And the reason I say I didn't know if it was a permanent fixture is because back in 2011, I've also, once again, just took a photograph of the actual pages from my book, 2011 book, 2012 or 13, but I can't remember. Life Business Just Got Easier. So it's all there for you to see that I had a nervous breakdown. A nervous breakdown, which effectively meant I couldn't operate. It took me 2.5 years to get back to normal. I'm all right on Twitch. So I've had a nervous breakdown back in 2011, 2012, whenever it was, I can't remember. I had a burnout last year, as recent as last year. So I don't care how physically tough you are, this is like a muscle. If I go to the gym and I try to lift a weight and it's too heavy for me, guess what? It's going to rip my muscle and so forth. I can tell you this now. I tell you this now, that all this is bullying. Whatever kind of spin that these individuals want to put on it, that somehow they're fighting a good fight. If you're out of the network, why would you continue to talk about the network? If you left the network, why would you continue to talk about how terrible the network is? There is two sides to every story, and what I've done, and I've been, I don't know if that's the right word, but I'll say it, magnanimous in that I've turned the other cheek. I've turned the other cheek, hoping that these things will go away, that they'll just go away and people will grow up and so forth. But it's got worse. What's happened is, as people have seen that people are taking pot shots, other people have done it. So in the last week, we've had all sorts of stuff. People setting up false accounts, Brad Burton's this, that, and the other. People saying, I'll give you an example of allegations that have been levelled at me in the last month. That one, I've thrown bricks through somebody's window over in Manchester. 2, I've poisoned and killed their cat. 3, I put tracking software on a former phone networker's computer. 4, I'm going out of my way to bully somebody. Let me tell you something. Me as a bully, a bully is somebody that goes and seeks somebody out. These individuals, I might not necessarily like them, but I don't go seeking them out. I could absolutely ruin their business and reputation with the truth. With the truth. That's the reality of it. And yet I choose not to. There is going to come a point when, where we are right now, as I talked about in the meeting, I'm going to bring Pippa on in a second, and his narrator for networking. She knows everything about everything. So she's got a proper understanding. So I ask these individuals that are bullying, what is your end game? Do you want me to have a nervous breakdown, 2.5 years mentally as a father and a husband? Do you want me to have a burnout for a couple of weeks to teach me a lesson? What lesson are you trying to teach me? What are you trying to teach me? Or maybe it's that you're really annoyed with yourself. The last 12 months has been tough for everyone. Financially, emotionally, spiritually, physically, on every level, it's been tough. And we, as a network and as a club, the Now What Club, have done what we could with limited resource. Bear in mind, for networking business, £100,000 a month, easily, to nothing overnight with COVID. And you think that's appropriate to keep bullying? What do you want? Do you want me to have a nervous breakdown? Do you want me to have a burnout? Do you want me to have a failed marriage? Do you want my children not to see the dad because I've killed myself? Big tough guy, he can take it. He bullies all the time. No, I don't. I don't chase you around the internet. I do nothing. Now, I say that, this whole campaign, this be kind or don't, you've got a binary decision. And actually, I've never asked anyone to support me or to go back and fight or argue with them. That's not my way. But what I would urge you to do right now is when you see somebody slagging me off or slagging phone networking off, put the hashtag in there, please. Be kind or don't. That's it. I don't ask you to get involved. That's it. Be kind or don't. Because that's a binary decision. I want to embarrass these people into stopping. I'm doing 2 things right now, 4 things that are going to happen. If somebody says anything about me, right now, we are screen capturing. I've got private investigators capturing and documenting everything. 2, a website is being created right now where your business will be featured, yours being a bully, complete with any public domain photographs, complete with all these quotes. I'll give you an example. Brad Burton's a horrible, dirty C-U-N-T. That will be attributed to your business. I am not going to stop till I ruin this guy's business. That's going to be attributed to your business. All these things, I'm going to do nothing. I'm not going to fire back. I'm not going to. And then what I'm going to do is we will give you an alternative hypothesis as to why you may have left the network. So Brad Burton's this, Brad Burton's that. Let me tell you something. I asked my wife, and bear in mind, my wife is a victim in all this as well. Now imagine if my wife was here crying. But no, you've got Brad Burton here, and he can take it. He's an arsehole. Until, of course, you can't take it. Now, don't know what the line is. What I do know is I've had a burnout last year. I've documented it. What I do know is I had a nervous breakdown in 2011, nearly lost my nearly lost my marriage, lost my business, a lot. My mental faculties went for 2.5 years. That I do know. I can say that. I don't know where the tipping point is for somebody to top themselves. I don't know where that is. I've got no idea. But I think a lesser person may well have done something disastrous to themselves. So you've got to ask yourself a question. When you go out there and you pretend that you're all happy and you're positive in your personal development world, what your words would look like if there was a website with a photograph and your web address, and every time that somebody SEO'd your business, it would come round. Because I promise you, if you think it's funny giving this shit out, let's see when it comes back on you and your business. I could actively destroy your reputation and your business by sharing what you've done, and I have on folder here. I could do that right now. I could destroy someone's business and reputation now. A reputation that somebody's out there trying to pretend that they're, benign and they're happy and smiling and they're doing everything to support people and it's about being kind. I could ruin their reputation in business now. They would be finished by the time that thing went on the social media. Finished. Everything. And then what would happen? They'd have their husband going, oh, she's terrible. Brad Burton's internet bullying. And all I'm doing is showing what you've been talking about behind closed doors, or you think closed doors. The game is up. The game is up. I'm going through a legal situation right now where I am pursuing one of these individuals that's put these allegations online. We're going through the process. And just so we know, so we're in public domain, they've got 7 more days to produce their documentation or evidence. This has been going on for like 21 days now. So there's a process before legals. We send them a letter to say we're doing legals, and then they've not responded to that, or they've not responded. So we now put under 14 days. They've got to respond. We're now in, I think, Friday. So they've got 5 days left, or whatever it is. At which point, we're then moving forward, and we'll have a court date and so forth. And I will get a piece of paper that says that every single allegation is made up. It's fantasy. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a blog. And that blog is going to have the supporting evidence that what the judge has said, that it's a complete fantasy and so forth, and it's all made up. And then what I'm going to do on that blog, you have an option right now, because it either starts now or it ends now. I suggest that you go and delete everything that you've put on social media. Bear in mind, I've got copies. We have copies. Don't think that I'm that stupid. We've got copies of everything. But then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a nice blog all about this whole situation. And in that nice blog, about how it was all fantasy, I'm going to put everyone's comments on there. Yeah, you're right, chick. Brad Burton is this, that, and the other. Yeah, he did that to me. He bullied me. And I'm going to put your comments on that blog, and plus with the legal thing that goes, our way, because it's just made up, like 100% made up. Like, we're not like, oh yeah, there's 100% made up. And that's going to be the first. And we'll do it again and again and again. I've turned the other cheek. That's not me going to the police, or going to the, not the police, going to the legal. That's not what I'm at. I'm not a guy. Caroline Flack killed herself 2 years ago, whatever it was, as a result of this. We've just come off a global pandemic, a business that near collapsed if it wasn't for the lady I'm going to bring in a second, Pippa. She's got her own family. Would you not think it affects her? She's got to stand by me when all this shit's coming my way. Sorry, I didn't want to swear actually in this one. I just did. This, people, is not a joke. You imagine. Change that name, Brad Burton, when you see a post about me or for networking. Change it to your name. Change it to your business. And see how funny it is then. See, this is all fun and games, people. All I've ever wanted to do is make a difference, a positive difference. And that's what I continue to do. If a for networking member was copying for what I'm copying for right now, I would be acting. And it's like cobbler's shoes here, because I've done nothing. I've not fought back. And I continue. I don't want to be that guy that I once was many years ago. So that's why we're doing it this way. That you will get a mirror back on everything that you've said online. We've got, what, do you not think that just because you're behind a closed group, what, you don't think we've got copies of it? Really? Come on. And those words will be bounced back with you completely. You will have to associate your reputation with those words. And I speak on stage up and down the UK. Guess what I'll do? I'll do exactly the same. I will show people examples of what, on big stages, 2,000, 3,000 people, of the organizations that have said things about me. Some people have been removed from for networking. Some people have left phone networking instantly, fully into phone networking. Everything's amazing. They leave overnight. Well, what happened there? Where's that individual gone? One individual was caught cheating with other men, many men actually, and had to leave the network overnight. Nothing to do with me. I had no hand in that. It wasn't cheating with me, right? They just got caught philandering around the network and got caught and had to leave the network. So what they do, yeah, I left because Brad Burton's a homophobe. Brad Burton's a racist. That's why I left. Yeah, well, you're right, chick. He is, yeah. No, you left because you got caught sleeping around. Nothing to do with me. You're responsible for your actions, not me. Someone else got caught ripping members off. We was onto it. We removed them from the network. Brad Burton's a bully. Yeah, he banned me for no reason. No, I banned you because you're ripping off members and you owed them money. What would you expect as a duty of care as a head of an organisation? What, just to leave these people in and let them run roughshod? So many people, so many careers that I have started personally, speaking careers of individuals that are no longer in the network, and they go out there, or people that have started businesses off, I've inspired them to start businesses off. And then for whatever reason, this is not a phone networking problem. I think this is a people problem. And I also believe that this last year, I think there's a lot of undiagnosed mental illness. You know, I have been in the wars. We all have as individuals. We've all been in the wars. Let's be clear. Of course, it's been tough. But it doesn't need to be made any tougher. So let me be quite clear, just to summarise. I will 100% capture everything that you say about me. I will share it far, wide and extensively. So if you write something about me, be prepared to stand by it, because it will also feature on a website along with any public domain photograph of you, along with your business, and I will pull sound bites off your business. Let's say, for instance, you as a happiness coach, and then you say something terrible about Brad Burton, you know, that kind of thing, and we used to quote that. So you could see the kind of, you know, dichotomy between what the message you're putting out there and actually what you're doing on social media. That's one example. And we will also take you to court for defamation, litigation, all that. Top barristers, bosh. I am done with turning the other cheek. I am absolutely 100% done on turning the other cheek. I don't deserve it. My team don't deserve it. My family doesn't deserve it. And if I was a woman, this was a lady actually suggested this before to me. So don't think, oh, Brad, sexism again. There you go, example. A lady suggested this to me. Stacey Calder. She told me you could say this. That if I was a woman and I was sobbing now, I can't handle this anymore. But I'm not. I'm Brad Burton. Big, tough Brad Burton who can handle it. Unless, of course, he can't handle it. To those bullies, you're not internet warriors. You've not got a noble cause. You're a bully. You are a horrible bully. Look at yourself. Before you try to change me or change my organisation, look at you. Look at what you've done in your life. And ask yourself, how proud are you going to be if this thing blows up, as I believe it will do, with your name associated to your words? I suggest, I'm even looking out for you now, the guy I am, I suggest you remove it from the internet. We have copies of everything. Voicemails, we've got them. But do you not think that when you run a network with thousands of members, that we don't get to see and hear pretty much everything? Of course we do. So I suggest that you do yourself a favour and remove those comments. We have documents of them. But here's what's going to happen. When we go to court and it goes our way, and anyone who's put a comment on there, and if you're still on there, you are going on that website along with your business. And I suggest that you use this as an opportunity to change your life, to change your ways, and take responsibility for your life. Take responsibility for your decisions. It's not Brad Burton the reason that your life isn't going the way that you'd like it to do. It's not phone networking the reason that your life isn't going in the last 12 months. It's you. It's your decisions. I used to do the same. I blame my father for why I wasn't a success. I would blame being born in Salford, Manchester, being brought up in a council estate as to why I couldn't succeed. And the moment that it changed was when I changed and I realised that actually, what does this make possible? And it makes possible for a fresh start. Today is a turning point. It is a turning point. A turning point, and I'm telling you right now, I am done. That is it. The gloves are off. I'm going to Aikido you. You come at me, I will give you exactly what you sent to me, and I will amplify your message. I will put it on social media. I will put it on Boost on Facebook, and I will target your audience so they can see exactly who and what you are. So this either ends now or it begins now. Either way is good because we have a strategy. I am not prepared to have this business, this organization with thousands of good people ruined or sullied because you've got a beef and you don't want to admit that, one, you got arrested for a serious offence twice. 2, you was philandering or running around with married men and you got caught. 3, you ripping people off. 4, you was bad in business. 5, you was stealing money off people. 6, you was threatening people behind closed doors. 7, you get the point. I have a folder on all of you. I could ruin you and your business by sharing the truth. And the truth I will share. If that's what it requires for this to stop, I will share it. You have an opportunity. Yes, you. If you're sat there a bit uncomfortable right now, you should be. Because that uncomfortableness that you're feeling times it by 100, that's what I've been feeling for the last X amount of time that this has been coming. Horrible. I've got to shield the truth around me. Trust me. So, people, I am not a misogynist. I am not a homophobic. I am not a racist. I am not a bully. I'm Brad Burton, the UK's #1 motivational business speaker. And I changed my life. I made a difference, and I will continue to change lives. I will continue to change my life, and I will continue to make a difference. I'm going to bring in Pippa. Pippa Whitfield. She's worked with me for the last 4 years. She's had to question whether or not she continues working with me. Not recently, but the first time this thing happened. We're humans, people. We're humans. I'm going to bring Pippa in. 3, 2, 1. Hi, Pips.
Hey, so you're right. I've worked with you for over 4 years now, and you said just now how hard it is for me and the team and Carrie to stand by you with this. And you know what? It absolutely isn't. It isn't hard at all because I'm so incredibly proud of how you've handled all of this up till now. So proud. And the Brad I first knew wouldn't have handled it like this. You would have fought back. You would have kicked back. You would have destroyed them day one, and you haven't. You've allowed it to continue for everybody around you rather than you. I could not have worked with a bully, a misogynist, a racist, whatever you want to be called, for 4.5 years. I just couldn't do it. It's not me. Anyone that knows me will know that. So if anyone is still out there questioning whether Brad is any of these things, come on, like seriously, genuinely so proud of how you've handled it. And this is right now to stand up to it, because you know what, it's not just about you and it's not just about the network. There are other people that are also having this from these same people, and actually we've got each other. We talk to each other, and I'm not saying that fixes it, but it helps. There are people out there that haven't got anyone they can speak to, that are experiencing this right now, or they're embarrassed to talk about it, or they're ashamed or something, and actually you are doing the right thing once again by everybody else. So more power to you, Brad. I've got your back 100%.
It's these things, these allegations, you see it, right? So you see the from the other side, from a phone networking perspective, that we have removed people who have done bad stuff. They've done bad stuff. They are bad business. We've removed them, and they go out there and they don't admit that. We've never said, hey, here's the individuals that have done these things. We've never done that. We've never done that. We've never done that. But they go out there. They have the opportunity to go out quietly, but they don't. They choose to somehow rally and say, oh, I'm this, that, and the other. And that's not figs, is it, Pips? We're not just making it up.
And the sad thing then is people who have also been wronged in the past jump on that and they support it. And all that does is fuel it for the other people, and it makes them ill and it keeps them going. And actually, it's not fair. And you're absolutely right. It has to be stopped now. And what you're doing and the way you're doing it, you're even giving the people the opportunity to stop it now before it goes too far. You know, you cannot be fairer than that.
We can't be, Pips, and that's all we've ever been throughout this process. It's fair. So listen, people, if you see something about me, about 4 networking, about anything else like that, please drop the be kind or don't hashtag. That's it. Be kind or don't. That's it. You don't need anything else, because what'll happen then, it'll start coming back round and people will do it. Now, that doesn't mean that people can't have robust arguments with people in 4 networking. Don't think for a second that if somebody doesn't like me swearing on lives, what, they can't have an opinion? Of course they can. But what it doesn't mean is that, you know, that all of a sudden you then start going rallying around and saying, is this, that, and the other. And like, in 4 networking, you know, people might not get on with everyone. But when people go, oh, there's like 20 people there slagging you off, Brad. I've been in business for 15 years, a business which is thousands of members. And over the years, I must have spoken for thousands of people. What, do you not reckon if you work in an office and there's 10 people there, there's going to be one person you don't get on with? So if you work with 100 people, there might be 10 people. If you do it by 1,000, there might be 100. You get the point. And actually, that's part of it. And I didn't realize this. I had no idea when I started this out. I just started out with an idea of starting a network off. But 15 years on, I mean, what's crazy about this, Pips? You know, I'm a big tough guy, and yet I've just shared that I've had a nervous breakdown in 2011. I've proven that, you know, you guys
you're a human being. You know, even the toughest people are human beings, and you are somebody that wants to make a positive difference. So when that's what you're doing, and then people are saying the opposite of you, it's going to have an effect. You know, it's all very well you say I'm fine with it. It sinks in, you know, when it's drip, 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 and it has been like that constantly just now, no matter how tough you are.
Thank you. So, we're going to leave it there. Any final words, Pips?
Helen?
Any final words?
Oh, just, you know, if you don't like Brad because he swears or because he's northern or this, fine. You know, that's fine. Just think, if you're putting something out there, is this true? Is this kind? Is this actually something that other people need to hear? Let's all be more positive. Positive is good.
Be kind or don't. Cheers, Pips. Thank you. So, people, I'm going to round it off there, but let me just be clear here. You know, this is a turning point. This is a turning point. I am going to take it upon myself to drive this campaign now for every single individual that doesn't have the strength or the courage to do it. Right? I am not, like, seriously, that is it. The game is up. It is done. And I want you to reflect on yourself. I want you to reflect on your actions about why you are driven to try and run me through. Why do you believe that is truly? Not like the version that you tell people, but why do you think that my name's in your mouth day in, day out? I would suggest that you're either jealous or a misguided fan somewhere along the way. Or, and this is the other thing somebody else mentioned, it's an interesting one, but let me share it, is it's a bit like when you've got a friend and you've got a friend and then that friend group gets bigger and you're no longer as close as you once was to that individual, and now you're jealous of the people who were once there. You know, the nature, anyone has an opportunity to be a pal of mine, anyone has an opportunity to get close to me, to work with me. There comes a point when actually you can't maintain everyone because of the sheer weight of it. It's not that I'm being cold and cutting people off. I've got, like, literally, you know, I don't know how many messages I've got, but, you know, I probably get 1,000 a day, 1,000 ats or whatever a day. I can't maintain everything. It's impossible. I'm a human. Plus I've got family, plus sleep, plus, do you see what I'm saying? And I think that might be a reason as well. People that were once close to me, as they stop becoming closer to me because things change, they then get resentful that somewhere, I don't know. I've got no idea. I don't even try to profess. But look, I am Brad Burton, right? I'm a human being. But beyond that, people, I'll be failing myself if I didn't do this. Listen, thank you so much for tuning in. Brad Burton, the UK's number one motivational speaker. Thank you again. And like you say, be kind or don't. What a day. The turning point has arrived. Cheers. One shot, now the future is yours. Go. I started my business off 25 grand in debt, no income. Ended up delivering pizzas to keep the business afloat. I was 31, I picked up like a piece of shit. That was 14 years ago. But what I should have been doing is patting myself on the back. That is your most important asset that you have right now, is time, and it's the one that we give up so freely. Where's the GPS to your life? What do you want? You need to start believing in yourself.
I'm turning dreams into reality. In the lab with the formula and chemistry. Your memories spark to motivate and make the industry shake. You put the bars in the place. I'm talking one.
Now what? That's what I'm saying to you. Now what? For you, for your life. Because your success or failure will be defined by your decisions, your good ones and bad ones. And it all starts with that belief. True belief in yourself.
It's one shot, now the future is yours.